So, for the beginning of our practice, I invite you just to find a posture that will support you in your practice today. So, as you know, we've been going through the past months talking about discernment and checking in and being with and noticing what's going on in our system and our body and our mind. And today we're going to add this idea of compassion. And before we start, while you're settling into your posture, while I'm introducing, you could be just finding out if today feels like a lying down day or a sitting day or even a standing or walking around day for your practice. You can just be settling in, getting your cushions organized, allowing your posture to take on something that feels dignified but also effortless. And then just allow everything to rest, to let go, let go of efforting, let go of the things that we have to do, let go of taking action, of fixing or sorting or organizing or planning. All those words that have a really urgent, driven energy about them. And just let them also sit down, lie down, and breathe and rest. And instead, we turn towards a more intentional, present awareness, a tuning into present moment lived experience, moment by moment. A place that has no words. And we can begin that just by tuning into all the places where the body is in contact with the bed, the mat, the chair, the settee. Noticing all those points of contact and all the physical sensations of the body being held and supported. So I said today that our practice involves compassion. And self-compassion has three components. The first being mindfulness, awareness and acknowledging what's here. And the second component being common humanity and our connection to all living beings and our shared lived experiences across time, across the universe. And to know that we are not alone in whatever we might be experiencing. And the third component is care. To want to care for or be with and support ourselves as we navigate whatever experience we have. And so we begin our practice today with always that compassionate presence within our heart around our practice, and our acknowledgement that whatever we experience or are experiencing, it is part of the human condition and part of our common human experience. And so that's why today's practice is called, kind of unofficially, it's okay to not be okay. And although that might seem a little bit of a paradox, just allow that question, that phrase to sit beside you in your practice. It's okay to not be okay. And you can live that as a question if you like, or explore it as a practice as we go through today's mindfulness practice together. So now that you are in your posture, maybe allowing the eyes to gently close, or if it feels more comfortable, allowing the gaze to soften, lower, and inviting our awareness to turn inwards. Feeling that transition perhaps from the busy world, that energy of the doing world that might still be lingering, but also a beginning of that opening of space for our mindfulness practice. Check in with your posture. We should feel dignified, should feel relaxed, but also effortless. And we invite our curiosity now into observing the movement of breathing within the body. And just taking a moment to feel that adjustment, that turning the awareness towards belly or chest, throat, nose, anywhere else the movement of breathing can be felt. And then just a minute to follow the movement of breathing in and out. And that tuning into just effortless awareness. If we feel the mind wanders, we just gently bring it back to the next in-breath and the next out-breath. No trying to breathe in a particular way, trying to let go of that efforting or striving, and just allowing whatever is to be. Allow the body to breathe all by itself. Take a step back to just being the observer, feeling that movement of breathing, in breath and out breath. And now inviting our attention to go wider than the breathing. Feel the body around the breathing. We might begin in the torso with the heartbeat and with sensations in the belly and the back. Widening again, maybe to take in the shoulders, the arms, the hands, and the fingers. Widening our awareness again to bring in the head, the jaw, the face. And then again, until we include also the legs, the feet, the toes. So now we are resting awareness in the body around the breath within the body. And just checking in with how the body feels right now. We don't have the capacity maybe to notice every single sensation in the body, but if we drop that question into the body right now, what is here, what is present, the body will answer with its own language, which is sensation on the skin, in the muscles, in the organs or the bones. And we just allow our curiosity to follow, to tune in to those sensations. So just a minute or so to just begin tuning into what is present in the body right now. Might be some very subtle sensations like the eyelids touching or a tingling in a finger or a toe. Might be a sensation of temperature on the skin or the body in contact with the chair or the bed or the mat. But as we settle and just inviting our curiosity towards the body, I often say it's like watching stars come out in the night sky. One by one, we begin to notice different sensations. So let's just rest here and allow the body to just speak to us, sensation by sensation, noticing and turning towards each sensation that arises into awareness. As we said at the beginning with our mindfulness and awareness, There's no forcing or efforting involved, but whatever we find in the physical today, if there's anything that is uncomfortable, any tension or holding in the body, or perhaps the temperature, the weather, any sensations of fatigue or stress, we can just say those words in towards ourselves again. It's okay to be not okay. It's part of the human condition that sometimes things feel good and sometimes things feel uncomfortable. And for any of those things that feel uncomfortable, we can just acknowledge, oh, yeah, that's one of those things that feels uncomfortable. And we can invite a little bit of softening around that, a little bit of compassion around that. Just breathing in to those places. You can even put a hand on the place of your body where you feel that sensation. Just say, here I am with you, this, or here I am even with myself as I experience this little thing which feels uncomfortable. And breathe in a bit of softness, an invitation for a bit of self-care and kindness. And as best we can, if there's any wish to try and find a fix, to imagine that there will be some time in the future when we're not feeling this thing, we can acknowledge that there is that human tendency to want to make things better. And as best we can, acknowledge that right now things are just the way they are, and that's okay. There's no action required right now, no solutions, no fixing, no planning, no reaching for a future that might be different. But right now, just acknowledging what's here. And as best we can, really feeling into how that is in the body, the little details of those experiences, sensations, and to accept that they are here right now and they deserve compassion and care, just like we do as we live through this experience. We don't need a solution or a fix, just compassion and kindness, a softening, a letting go. Within each of us, there is the strength and the capacity to navigate and be with what we are experiencing, and to be our own best friend with compassion and kindness, to care for ourselves while we live this experience, and the capacity to sit with it and just observe, to connect to the authenticity of the experience, all the layers of humanity within that experience. Emotions or thoughts that come up around what we're feeling are also part of the human experience, our common humanity. And so we can notice these too, the emotions, the thoughts, we can observe them, and we can hold those with compassion as well. Softness, kindness, and care. Breathing into those experiences, those thoughts, those feelings, breathing out from them. Softening. And if you want, giving yourself a little soothing touch in the chest or the cheek or the back of the neck or wherever. Just a soothing touch. But then also just allowing the experience to flow as we soften and soothe through it and around it. And it doesn't matter if that self-compassion feels strange. It doesn't have to feel any particular way at all. But what is important is that we are inviting an open heart, even if we're not sure how to get there, just doing the practice, reminding our system that we are worthy of compassion and love and respect just as we are. There's no goal that we have to achieve or end result that has to be reached before we're allowed or permitted to have that compassion. We are worthy of that compassion as we are right now. as we live through this experience. The compassion flows and softens and soothes. We bring kindness around the experience because we are worthy of that respect and that love just as we are. And during your practice, keep coming back to the body, keep connecting to the sensations in the body, the breathing, the limbs, the bones, the muscles, the skin. Keep connecting to those lived experiences. The body carries our experience, our emotions, our thoughts. And we feel those in our bones, in our gut, in our heart, in our shoulders, our jaw, our toes, our fingers, our brow. So keep coming back to body, softening, soothing, allowing, breathing compassion into every cell. And breathing in and breathing out, we can allow our energy to flow around all these places or thoughts or feelings that need a little bit of compassion and care and kindness. Any energy that feels stuck or held in the body, we can invite it to flow with the breath, to soften, to breathe, to flow, while we acknowledge and allow things to be as they are. And I don't mean that we should be fighting with ourselves to accept things. This is all just an invitation. In the practice, we just notice what happens, and it's perfectly human to be striving, to be resisting, to like or to dislike. And we certainly are not trying to force ourselves to accept, as in the sense of give up, more just to accept that human experience is sometimes good and sometimes unpleasant. And if we can, to let go of the wish to have things a particular way, and then just to notice what happens around that, whatever the mind or the emotions or the body react to those invitations, we just observe that, allow that, and breathe compassion around that too. When we're doing compassion practice, we always need to walk very carefully, because sometimes when we open our hearts, it's a little bit like opening a window onto a fire, and the fresh air rushes in and the fire suddenly leaps up in intensity. So, in fact, just as firemen call this backdraft in our compassion practice, it can also be called backdraft. This sense that when we turn towards things, sometimes they can feel more intense. And so always adjust your practice. Always be careful in your practice to know your boundaries for the day, your comfort zone. and to take a step back if you need to. Just rest with your breathing and your body. And for the last 3 minutes of our practice, you could maybe, if you want, open your awareness beyond your thoughts and your body and your emotions. Open up to sounds in the world around you, the flow of sound. And breathing and body. So we might begin to wiggle fingers and toes. Just feel that movement coming back into those parts of the body. And from that, you might feel a wish to stretch your legs, your arms, your back. Maybe take a deeper breath. And when you're ready, opening your eyes and taking in the room around you. And I'm going to end our recording here so that we can come together and have a little sharing about our practice today.